And welcome to this episode of the Seven Freedoms Intentional Living podcast with me, Iona Maid, here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about our emotions, going up and down the emotional scale so that we can have that spiritual business and life work balance. If you are new here at the Soul Legacy TV, then every single Wednesday, I go live and I share with you basically my journaling practice and how I manage my emotions that in a way that is in alignment with me manifesting that spiritual business life work balance. We'll talk about our vision, our values, we're raising our vibration today. We'll play the bank 50K in 50 days challenge. It's a vibrational challenge, and then I will be challenging you as part of your spiritual business to actually bank 50K in 50 days in the real world. And you're like, what? In the visible world. So we do it vibrationally first. I do have 2 hours of coaching in the Seven Freedoms Frequency Calling Gym as well for you, which I gift my students, my boot campers, and my masterminders. So if you are watching this in the Soul Legacy Academy, welcome. And if you're watching this on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or you're listening to it on podcast, then welcome. It's really just a beautiful journey. And so I've done many of these lives. Many of you may have or may not have seen or been following me for a while. Some people have said, like, we connected a while ago, which is beautiful. And I'm back. And so this is episode 10 for the Seven Freedoms Frequency and the Seven Freedoms Intentional Living podcast. So we're going to be talking about, again, emotions. And I want to give this episode a little bit of context because it is the second episode on emotional freedom. So if you're listening to this, I have in my hand my journal, and it's called the Soul Legacy Journal. It's a notebook. It's a blank notebook for you to write down and journal with me every single day. I love it. So you may have a journaling practice. You may have a system around your journaling practice. It might be part of your soul signature system. This is part of my soul signature system, which I call the intentional living codes, the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. And the idea of this podcast is to come and share with you what my journey is, but also what my students' journey is, and also as a subscriber, as a member of the Soul Legacy Academy, then how you can too, and doing it for free, because that is what I would have loved when I was going through a spiritual awakening. Sometimes we are in the position to invest, and sometimes we just want some help so we can get into the position of investing in ourselves and our spiritual business. And so I made a vow when I figured this out, I would share it far wide and deep. And so here I am honoring that commitment. And when talking about emotions, how I felt way back when in the time, I felt outpriced by the gurus. I was going through so many awakenings, a messy divorce. My home was being repossessed, all these things externally, which obviously were internal as well. And I've done everything that I could possibly do to hold that vision of honoring that commitment of, when I figured this out, then I would share it far wide and deep. And so here I am. So this is a journaling, the Soul Legacy Journal. So I call it 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. Hang on. My ring light is kind of just doing this wobbly movie thing. So I call it spiritual awakening for you and for me. Every day is a chance to awaken a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. Every day is a day of growth. Every day is a shift from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. And I'm not sure why I am this dark. It's a bit weird. I'm in a new or different setup. It is new, but it's a different setup. And I've got 3 ring lights shining on me and I'm still dark. I don't know what it is. Oh, I'm going out of color. There we go. Yay. I have color in my cheeks. All right. So, and if you're listening to this, you'll be like, what? But I am streaming live and adjusting my lights. So yeah, let's journal. Let's do this. And so this is like a practical podcast on intentional living. And again, and for me, sharing about intentional living is just an honor and a blessing. Like, it's just absolutely amazing to live this way and to get back into the podcasting. When you're doing something and you're doing it offline and it's like, well, I will share and I won't share. I've done hundreds of these lives, and I was hesitant to get back on before I'd built most of the back end of my spiritual business, as I invite my co-authors to share their spiritual awakening story. If you are in my co-author book series and you are going to be sharing your spiritual awakening story, I'm super excited to collaborate with you, work with you, support you. And you'll know that this vision was born a really long time ago. And so I'm really big into vision and the emotions behind your vision, and manifesting and understanding the process of manifesting that spiritual business life work balance is huge. And so we do talk about the emotional scale, which is Abraham Hicks's emotional scale, it's not mine. Moving up and down the emotional scale. I'm sure that you are familiar with that, right? So, and if you're not, and not everybody is actually. So Abraham and Jerry and Esther Hicks talk about in their book Ask and It Is Given, about manifesting and moving up and down the emotional scale and spiraling up and spiraling down. And so there's 22 points of attraction. And I talk about this, and I don't know if I don't think I've actually, if I can, hang on. I'm gonna grab this emotional scale up on my Mac, and I'm gonna read out the actual emotions. Hang on, there's a favorite one that I really like. Not all of them list them. So bear with me as I read off this emotional scale so you know what I mean by this. And so the emotional guidance scale is called upward spiral, again, downward spiral. So I don't know if I can make this bigger. So basically the upward spiral of like your point of attraction is feeling the feelings of so your emotions, so feeling the feeling. And I'm going to tie this into the 7 freedoms in a second, and your spiritual business life work balance. And I'm going to share the book that I read today, which was You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. So it all ties in, I promise. And so joy and knowledge and empowerment and freedom and love and appreciation is at the highest vibrational scale. And I'm reading this online. And so if you type in the emotional guidance scale, then you'll find one. The second run down the emotional scale is passion. So, and then the next one, 3, is enthusiasm. And then 4, positive expectation and belief. Feeling of 5, optimism. I haven't got my glasses on. 6 is hopefulness, and 7 is contentment. So when you're feeling these kinds of feelings and you're thinking about your spiritual business and you're thinking about get your life purpose, and you're hopeful and you're passionate and you're enthusiastic and you've got positive expectation and belief and optimism and hopefulness and contentment, it's just amazing. So you don't have to be at the highest vibration to be vibrating high. You know, people say high vibing, I say high vibing. And so joy and knowledge and empowerment and freedom and love and appreciation, that is the purpose and the goal of the 7 freedoms frequency podcast for intentional living, setting the intention and living in a way that is going to have you feel this way. And so I'm living in the way that has me feel this way. And so because I'm on episode 10, I'm like, oh, wow, it's just really nice, because last week we set the intention together. I set the intention for my emotions, how I wanted to feel throughout the week. And I did dip, don't get me wrong, but it's okay. And I'll share with you how I move back up the emotional scale and how I think about my thoughts, and I think about the universe and situations, and tap it out, tap whatever is out, and know that every situation is for me. And because of my vision, I'm manifesting the things that I do want, manifesting the things that I don't want, taking full responsibility for all of the things. I don't mean just taking blame, I mean taking responsibility. So if you're familiar with the emotional scale, the Abraham Hicks emotional scale, let me know. And if you are leaving any comments, I can't see them, but if you want to come over to the YouTube channel, then you can, and I will see comments and I can pull them up on the screen. And again, thank you for joining me. So, and spending this time with me. So I want to share with you the emotions for going down the emotional scale. And this is something that many of us, I wouldn't include me all of the time. Most of the time, 80% of the time, I'm aware. Only because I'm doing this daily live, and I'm doing this podcast, and I'm doing this daily reflection. When I drop off, then it's out of my awareness, and you notice, you know, when you're not doing your own thing that is being birthed to you when you've been going through a spiritual awakening. These are the tools that were given to me, that I downloaded, that was like, okay, that is the thing that's going to help me. My spiritual ascension tools gives me, that's going to help me raise my own vibration, and I could alchemize it, package it up, systematize it, and give it to you, right? And so I believe that that's why, as a spiritual business owner, that when we're out of balance, we have an opportunity to get the tools to balance our life and raise our own vibration, whatever tools we are, feel better, and give our soul clients the tools to do something similar or the same or even better. And so spiraling down, it starts at number 8, boredom. When you get bored, like I've got people say to me, oh, I only got so much content. Oh, I only you've got, and I'm like, I would be bored in my spiritual business. I have fairly repetitious days, and somebody had said to me, who I was dating, said, well, it's kind of like a robotic life, it's not natural. And I'm like, no. And I know that. And I remember one of my exes, he was into his routine, really rigid, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. But repetition is key. And so when you don't understand it, I mean, focusing on 7 areas of your life in a week is not boring, and it's not leaving any part of your life unturned. You know, when you're focusing on your business, which is being out of not having that spiritual life work balance, and you're not focusing on your health or your emotions, and you're feeling sad and you're feeling down and you're feeling all these things, it's like, or not focusing on your relationships or your whatever, right? So it's like, in order to include every area of your life, you've got to be intentional, and also intentional with your 24 hours of your day. Many people spend many hours of the day complaining in a poverty consciousness, complaining with language that's complaint. And I'll talk about Louise's Hay's book and how she explains that. But like in that lack, and I don't have enough time, and I blah, blah, blah. And so I talk about moving with your day through ease, grace, and flow, and you might not have as much structure as I have. And I have the structure because I have an ADHD type brain, and without the structure, I fall off, and I spend hours doing this, and people spend hours doom scrolling and all the things. I don't do that anymore. Like, I have things in my day that I know that I want to do and spend my time on. But anyway, let me explain the going down the emotional scale. Oh gosh, do you know what I've done? Oh, I've made the window go away. So, and if you've got any comments or what have you, I'll come back to them. So, you know that boredom, we're not bored when we're like, we've got a vision for our life and we're going about it's not the end game, it's the journey. And so, anyway, so pessimism at number 9, frustration, irritation, impatience is number 10 down the spiral. Doubt, overwhelm, sorry, is overwhelmment, number 11. Number 12 is disappointment. Number 13 is doubt. Number 14 is worry. And if you relate this to your spiritual business or any area of your life, which I'm going to go in once I stop reading this, then you're vibrating at a low vibrational frequency, and it's okay. But when we realize, oh, okay, this is why this is manifesting, this is how I feel, the way that I feel, and what do I do about it? And in this free podcast, that is our intention, that is the focus. All right, so number 16 is discouragement. Number 17 is anger. Number 18 is revenge. Number 19 is hatred and rage. Number 20 is jealousy. And you might not feel all of these feelings like in a day or in a week, but we do fluctuate. Number 21 is insecurity, guilt, and unworthiness. And number 22 on the emotional scale, spiraling down, is 22 is fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, and being a victim. Now, when we talk about each area of your life on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, and we talk about spiritual life work balance, spiritual business and life work balance, we talk about the 7 freedoms. So having freedom and love and joy and empowerment in all areas of our life. And so Wednesdays, we use this as a pit stop. I don't know why I'm changing color. We use this as a pit stop. Now, I think it's because I throw my hands everywhere. We use it as a pit stop to go back to Mondays, which is Contribution Freedom Mondays, your life purpose and your spiritual business. Now, if you're feeling fear or low on the lower vibrational emotional scale around your life purpose, then it impacts the other areas anyway. It clogs it up. But the idea is to figure out what it is that you need to do to lean over to the other side. And I came across this and I was like, okay, when I do my 2-hour monthly coaching call on the 7 frequency call in gym. So it's a follow on from my vision board challenge, which I'll share. It's a follow on from these daily lives. We have a 2-hour monthly coaching call. And so I was coaching one of my students a while ago now, a couple of years ago, and maybe 2-3 years ago, maybe. And I noticed that the thing that would trigger the emotion that would trigger her going down the emotional scale would be overwhelming. And then she'd boom, 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 go down like as far as she'd go down and then be vibrating there. And then she would then feel maybe hopefulness and a bit of optimism and spiral up the emotional scale. And the idea is to orchestrate that process intentionally so that because we'll always have contrast, we'll always, you know, vibrate and lower. The idea isn't just to high vibe all the time. The idea is to feel the emotions and process them and move back up the emotional scale. I wouldn't say as quickly as you can, but just not dwelling on the lower vibrational scale because that's your point of attraction. I'm just saying. So you're welcome. So it's really beautiful. So if you think of your life purpose, you think of your health, you think of your emotions, how you feel about your emotions, you think about your environment, you think about your relationships, your spirituality, and your finances. Are you feeling any of the lower vibrational frequency around any of those? So boredom, pessimism, overwhelming. Do you worry about money? Do you feel jealousy towards those who are doing really well and really successful? And you're like, why are they doing it and I'm not? Or do you feel insecurity or guilt? Do you feel unworthy? Many of my students come to me and they do not feel they haven't served enough in their spiritual business to feel worthy, to feel like I've got this. I'm a badass at my spiritual business. They've maybe worked in the business and maybe not on the business and worked with enough people. And I talk about the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, and I'll go through that in a second. I also talk about 50 breakthrough sessions that serve, and people go, what, 50 people? Like, imagine if you, in 50 days, imagine if you work with 7 people in a week, or you knew how to work with and enroll 7 people in a week, or speak to and then get testimonials for your session. It's a breakthrough session, not a clarity call, not a discovery call, not a sales call, not any of those. And getting testimonials and then following through and then, you know, inviting people to work with you. That process in and of itself is just such a beautiful process. And I did it and I've done it myself. And when I first did it, I enrolled 32K in 37 days. And then I blew up the business model because I couldn't sustain it, and not sustain the sessions, but the way in which I was enrolling my co-authors. It wasn't the model. And so I went back to the drawing board. I've mixed it up, and here I am with a business model, and it's really beautiful. And I'm not saying give away sessions for free. It's not that. It's with intention and strategy and clarity and systems, right? And also to help you move up the emotional scale, because you can say, oh, I'm not giving away my time, I don't have time, and be vibrating at a lack. Or you can be in service in your spiritual business and serve, get testimonials and get clients and move on, rather than being in a stuck place that seems like it's serving you. And so, do you feel fear? There's a fear that we often have, and I talk about this on the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, on my book launch videos. And again, I'll show you my book if you haven't seen it. And if you've seen it, then great. Thank you for purchasing it. And please do leave a review if you haven't already. So I talk about fear of being seen online. And so if you've got fear around your spiritual business, or if you're feeling any other emotions around your health, or again, your emotions, your environment, your relationships, like if you are feeling, I don't know, disappointed about your relationships. I had a disappointment which had me go down the emotional scale. Was it day before yesterday, I think? And so I rated my vibrational frequency a little bit lower today just to acknowledge it. But I'm back into high vibing, and the universe is providing me signs and that trusting, all those things. So I know, like, my eyes were everywhere, but I was watching the emotional scale. Let me know if you are familiar with Abraham Hicks's emotional scale. And let me know if you are throughout your day doing this on your phone or on your tablet, on your laptop, on your desktop, if you're kind of doing this and doom scrolling like for a fix. And so it's designed, we know, social media to give you that fix. And so when we are avoiding and doing different things, it's like, okay, let's actually see how we feel today. So I want to say, how do you feel today? So I'm going to talk about your vision. I'm going to talk about our values, and I'm going to talk about our vibration, but I'm going to talk about our vibration first. And so emotional freedom, again, it's Wednesdays. Like, just think, Wednesday, what am I going to do? I'm going to assess my emotions. How am I feeling in each area of my life? What word would you give each area of your life in terms of attaching an emotion to it? And it's fine wherever you are. And again, if you're a student of mine, what we'll do is add your vibrational frequency up for the week, right? And then we'll play a game with it, we'll just relax about it, because emotions are just emotions. It's cool. And then when we get to the end of the week, we'll have a snapshot of how each area is vibrating, how in alignment you are with your vision. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. And so today for me, I've put 11, and I don't want to put an 11. Hang on, let me do it again. I am vibrating at an 11. Emotional freedom. Hang on, Wednesday. I'm going to put it at a 10. And I'm going to put that in my journaling process, and I'm going to add it up at the end of the week, and I'm going to share with you, hey, you know what? This was my vibrational frequency this week on Sunday, right? So again, the intentional livings, the 7 freedoms for intentional living is setting intention, but also managing your life in a way, because if you don't manage your life, who's going to? Life will run away with you, and stuff happens, and people and things and what have you will just keep happening to you, dragging you along. And so I was having a conversation, well, a couple of voice notes actually yesterday, with a soul sister who was mentioning about her emotions and how she was feeling, and the things that she had done to manage her feelings, her low vibration. And so just feeling really down. I'm not going to talk out her business, and I'd never identify anyone, but that lowest vibrational frequency, and doing different things that are prescribed and different things, and that not actually working, and saying, you know what, that is not how I want to feel. Actually, the way that I feel, I'm going to use my tools to manage my emotions. And I think that's a really beautiful realization and a space to be. And sometimes we do need help with managing our emotions, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not sitting here saying you've got to feel this way or pretend to feel this way, or how you feel is how you feel. And so I say, number one on the our emotional vibration, rating our vibration, is if you feel in soul funk. So that'd be some of the emotions that are spiraling down the emotional scale, whether you feel in soul flow. So whether that's an 11, and usually my vibration is at an 11, and or close to it. And so it's at an 11 now. Like, I feel really, really good, and I'm my daily and weekly and monthly and quarterly and annual routine supports me raising my vibration every single day, being mindful, being intentional. And I love ease, grace, and flow. And it's not about micromanaging your emotions. It's noticing what is going on with you and each area of your life. And if you are in alignment or not, it's as simple as that. You're either in alignment or you're out of alignment. That's what's going to give you that balance. And it's not the balance where all of your life has to change for you to feel in alignment. It's your intention and your soul. I say, looking at the world through the lens of your soul. And so when you're in soul funk, you're not really following and in flow with that guidance. You're more in your humanness. Some people say ego. I just say in the humanness, because we're in this physical plane, and we're more looking at the visible world to to dictate our emotions, right? And so when we trust and we know that we're guided, higher self, source, God, universe, and we have part of that essence, and we are that essence, and we look at the world through the lens of our soul, through our eyes, right? And so it's not like through the emotions, the brain, and the thinking and the thoughts. It's looking at the world through the lens of your soul. And I love the book Untethered Soul. It's just such a gorgeous book. But the book that I listened to today was Louise Hay, and I'll summarize what I was listening to on my walk. It's just so beautiful. And the late Louise Hay, but I'm still hearing her voice, on her Audible book. It's just incredible. She's left an incredible legacy. And I remember following her work in the early days, and that has actually impacted where I'm at right now. And I love it. So my emotions are, my vibrational frequency, I would say, is at an 11. And do you see that? I wish the lighting would just stop. Just like whatever. So what is your vibration? Do you feel it in soul funk, which is a 1? Nah. Or do you feel like high vibing 11 source? You've gone through your spiritual awakening and you're like, do you know what? I know I'm a soul having a human experience, so I am not going to get pushed and pulled by this life. And so mine dipped because something happened in the physical, and I was like, oh, it was unexpected. And I was like, I'll talk about it more on Relationship Freedom Friday. And I was like, that doesn't feel good. And your girl cried. I did cry, let go of my tears, did what I needed to do, said what I needed to say, and I'm over it. Right? It's just like this or something better. It's always this or something better. And if it isn't this, then I know it's going to be something better. And so that is manifesting for me. And I look down at my phone because it's like, okay, there's certain things that deliver to you. They come to you in divine time, and we have to trust that process, right? So if you are a student of mine in the Soul Legacy Academy, and you've been gifted to our monthly coaching call, like gift an entire year of spiritual business and work-life balance coaching, because I love it, and I just love it. And it's like, why would you give? It's a 2-hour monthly, it's a group call, and I gift it to my students. And I just think, pay attention to how you feel, right? Pay attention. This is us living our legacy together. And like I say, I love it. So that is our vibrational frequency relating to our emotions. Does that make sense? Because oftentimes people are like, Iona, you don't understand. Iona, blah, 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 the stories that we tell. And I'm like, I know, and I do understand, and I love you, and I didn't make up how the universe works, and I didn't make up the universal laws, and I am, I have deep empathy. However, when we focus on life and we focus on that to determine how we're going to feel in reaction, then we're going to get more of that. So all I can do is say, do you know what? Feel the feelings, tap them out. I'm a big tapper, and let's move through it and release it. And so I do that myself. So let's talk about vision, right? Go back to vision. And so if you have not requested access to this Google Doc, you'll see the link around here somewhere. I have the Spiritual Business Vision Board. Is a free 7-day challenge on my YouTube channel. And so for those of you who subscribe to the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, thank you. And so spiritual business success for me isn't like that chasing and that hustle. Like, it's about relaxing into our purpose and creating a spiritual business that we love, and that we're not in fear of serving. We're not in fear of being online. We're not in fear of speaking to the people that we say we're here to serve. We're not in fear about anything. It's just like learning. We're learning that. And I've learned that, and I've learned that through trial and error, and I've learned that through practice, and I've learned that through just showing up. I'm not going to use swear words, but showing up. And people say, I don't have confidence. And I'm like, you get confidence by doing the thing. If you know me, if you're a student of mine, I actually say that doing the thing is how you're going to get confidence. Like, I can't get confidence by being on camera with refusing to be on camera. And so the vision board challenge, it helps you with your vision, and also banking 50K in 50 days. And I did mention that we're going to do this vibrationally first. We're going to do this emotionally first. And so relax, it's okay. And then I'm going to invite you to do it in the visible world. As a spiritual business owner, and if you want to have that spiritual life work balance, and you finally want to just break free of all the emotions that are going down the emotional scale and keeping you out of alignment and keeping you feeling like it's never going to work for me. Louise Hayes talks about this in her book. She was saying basically that so I was reading chapter 2. Let me see what the titles, because I ended up listening to half of this book, and again 15:15. I ended up listening to half the book on like an hour and a half walk. Normally I'll go for a 2-hour walk, but she says so far the chapters are chapter 1, What I Believe, and You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. What I believe, what is the problem, where does it come from, is it true, what do we do now, resistance to change, and how to change. Just whenever I go on a walk or I do something, I listen and I feel my mind. If not, we think all kinds of thoughts and we're not learning anything new. And the thoughts where they say that we have like, I don't know, 60,000 thoughts a day that are probably the same or very similar thoughts every single day, which keep us where we were and keep us where we are, right? So Louise Hay was talking about, and again, in summary to the book, and this is how I learned about a prosperity consciousness and a poverty consciousness. And I used to have a series called Prosperity Thinking. And so I did in the Soul Legacy Academy, you'll see it on the screen. In the Soul Legacy Academy, if you enroll in the 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board challenge, it's an annual challenge for spiritual life work balance again. And so the URL is www.soullegacyacademy.com/courses/vision board. It's $7.77 per year. And so inside there, I have a prosperity consciousness quiz. And so, and some 7-day prosperity thinkers series. And that's how I started online with my 7-day educational marketing many years ago, before Facebook challenges became a thing. And now I've created YouTube challenges. And so in that, it was actually influenced by Louise Hay, thinking about it, because she says, whatever you speak, whatever you say out loud, the universe will just bring that back to you. And so in this book, she helps us to identify what is the problem and where does it come from. Basically, where did the trauma come from? Where did the words that you speak to yourself unintentionally in the subconscious come from? And what voice are they? Like other people saying you can do this, you can't do that, and having those fears and stuff. And she says, is it true? Because most of the time it's not. It's somebody else's words. It's somebody else's imprint on you. And many of us, when we go for our spiritual awakening and we're disassociating with all the things that we were told, and then we're coming out spiritually awake, we don't necessarily have the people around us who get it or are speaking that same language or understand, like, well, who you are now, because you're just discovering who you are when you go for an awakening. And so she says, is it true? And oftentimes the things that we say to ourselves and believe, and our beliefs, we know that our beliefs, we're creating our reality through our beliefs and through our actions and how we're speaking to ourselves. And so asking, is it true, and reflecting, there's loads of exercises in the book. She says, where does it come from? So basically, who does it come from?
Chapter 6.
Oh, hang on.
Chapter 8. Building the...
Hang on. So resistance. So what do we do now? So again, in summary, basically, when you've got a vision for your life in these 7 areas of your life, the intentional living, 7 freedoms for intentional living, then you would be manifesting what is on your vision board. If you're going to do a vision board with me, if you've done one, you'd have manifested it already. If you didn't have a block or energy we're in alignment to it, it'd already be done. And so there's a vibrational gap between the version of you now and the version that you want to manifest. And it's not a time gap, it's a vibrational gap. And it's a belief gap and an emotional gap. So raising your vibration, your vision is here, and you might be vibrating here. So it's how do you raise your vibration? So this spiritual business and life work balance, this podcast for intentional living, may seem like, I don't know, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? I want spiritual life work balance. It's all about action. We know that. It's not. It's about emotions, and it's about your vibration, and it's about your beliefs. So I like to say intentional thinking and unintentional thinking, poverty consciousness versus the prosperity consciousness. And you'll know if you have a prosperity consciousness because it will feel good. Your thoughts will be supportive. You'll say, oh, this is my vision. This is what I need to do. You'll get divine timing. You'll get nudges, etc. So I've got a 7-day quiz, a 7-day video series talking about, I'm going to listen to it actually. I haven't listened to it for a long time, since I was in my homeless unit, I don't think. Since I went through a really messy divorce, and I was in a homeless place with me and my daughter for 6 months. And I remember like losing my home and thinking, oh my Lord, I was £160,000 in debt. And I was listening to this Prosperity Thinker series and wondering how the heck am I going to get out of this. And so there's a prosperity consciousness quiz in the online teaching portal that you can take, and there's questions in there. I don't have to be there. You can go in there, and there's questions that you ask to see where your mind is, whether you're going to be spiraling down or spiraling up in terms of your point of attraction and the words that you use, the words that you speak on a daily basis. It's okay for us to create a vision board. That's fine. But if we're not speaking in alignment with that, if we don't actually even believe it, like, we're out of alignment, we're not going to manifest it. We're not on the same vibrational frequency. I didn't actually make this up. It just is. And so again, it's like people say, I don't know, you've got loads of content. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because on a daily basis, I know what it takes to raise my vibration, no frequency, in all areas of my life. It would be me doing you a disservice saying, you know what, come and do the vision board challenge. And then that is it. Not gelling and not showing you, oh, okay, this is how I walk my talk. This is how I'm manifesting myself. This is how I get myself into vibrational harmony with the vision that I have. That is my movement. This is my legacy. This is intentional living, is me supporting and the improvement of improving the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. Escape a poverty consciousness and elevate a prosperity consciousness. It starts with me. It starts with you, right? We're passing it on to the next person and the next person and the next person. So if you want that spiritual business and life work balance and you're out of balance and you're doing busy work or you're broke or you're burnt out, it's going to be what emotions and the things that you've been programmed to think about yourself and to think about the world, to think about life. And it's okay wherever we are, but working on it, and it's like, oh gosh, I've got to do all this healing, or I've got to do. Now we move forward in the outer world as well as doing the inner work. There's many of my students over time, they're like, I'm doing the inner work, I'm doing the inner work. And it's like, that is fantastic. However, doing just the inner work, half the time we don't even know which inner work to do in that moment. We can't clear every single little bit of inner work before we move forward. That literally would be stuck for years, because there's always inner work to do. And I remember when I first did the vision board challenge, people would say to me, my students would say to me, I thought I'd done my inner work. I thought there was an end point. Sorry to say that there's not, but we're always evolving. We're always growing. The more that we put on our vision board annually, it's the journey and enjoying the journey, and just knowing that an emotion is an emotion. It's okay. A thought is a thought. Louise Hay says about replacing those thoughts, and we can take control of our mind, and we can say thank you to our mind, and we can say, actually, I'm going to think this way. And you may sound like a crazy person for a while. Like, I call it soul speaking into existence. So when I'm on my daily walk, I'm talking to the universe, I'm talking to you guys. I remember, like, a lot of people say to me, I'm not confident on camera, and I can feel your energy. And I'm like, this is because this weird lighting. This is because I have been speaking, like when I was driving, when I'm walking in, like, hey guys, welcome to blah, 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 blah. I'm speaking it out, and I'm imagining myself and visualizing myself. Everything that I do, these daily lives came out of me going live on Facebook and supporting my students. At the time, it was like happened by accident. It wasn't, it was in divine time, and I was downloaded it. And I'm like, oh, there's something to this. I wanted to support my students, but in a way where I could spend this quality time. but not have myself be burnt out, have that spiritual business and life work balance. Does that make sense? So having a poverty consciousness versus a prosperity consciousness, operating and running your life is a big deal. If you have a poverty consciousness, then you're going to get a certain outcome in life. If you have a prosperity consciousness, you're going to have a different outcome in life. And I know which one I wanted. So again, me being here and supporting you and supporting my subscribers. And again, I'm streaming on Facebook. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm streaming on LinkedIn and YouTube and in the Soul Legacy Academy. Then I'll share it on Twitter. Then I'll strip out the audio and I'll put it on Audible and Spotify. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, I don't know, what are you doing and how can you share that? And I'll pull the card at the end of this podcast that I got today from Keepers of the Light. And it just gives me goosebumps because they say that when you're pulling a tarot card, and I know that many of you do, you're in vibrational harmony to whatever card that will just jump out of you. And right now I only have half a deck. So what comes out, and it might come out over and over again. But I left my deck. I will get it back. So resistance to change was the chapter that I listened up to. So I listened from chapter 2 to chapter 6, resistance to change. This is huge. And so your spiritual business and manifesting that spiritual life work balance and living intentionally, I say that it's following your soul path of least resistance. And so when you have resistance, so Louise here says that you notice that, it might be from fear, the stories that you're telling yourself, it's going to keep you stuck. It's only when we're journaling out in our journal, I invite you to use your journal, going through that spiritual awakening. And a spiritual awakening is just a shift in your consciousness. It's a way to look at your world and life in a different way. So I went on massive tangents, right? We did the book, the book for the day, which I usually leave till the end, but I just thought, let me bring that in. And so we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. And normally I'm doing this in random orders because I'm not looking in my journal. So we've done vision. We haven't done values yet. So we're going to do values and we'll do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. Now, your values, whatever your values are, so depending on who we've been raised by, our values are going to be influenced. Like we just do a certain thing. There's a story, and I can't remember where it's from. I think it was T. Harv Eker shared it in the Millionaire Mind Intensive, and he was saying about basically a woman who was cooking like some meat, whatever it was, in a pan, and she chopped off the ends of this ham, let's say. And so her daughter or somebody had said, why do you do it like that? And she's like, I don't know. My mum did it like that. She chopped off the ends of this thing and put it in the oven because that's what they did. And then she said, I'm going to ask my mum. So she asked her mum, and her mum said, oh, well, I don't know. Your grandmother did it. So she said, we're going to ring your grandmother and see like why we do it in this way. And the grandmother said, I chopped off the ends because the pan was too small. So their pan wasn't too small, but it's like they were doing the thing that they're being passed on. The beliefs and the values that you hold in life, that wasn't necessarily a value, but the beliefs in the way that you should do things, the things that you hold near and dear. And as part of the 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board challenge, I talk about values and I give you a values list of what are your values. And if you're out of alignment with your values, trying to build your life unintentionally, then I invite you to build it intentionally and do it in the non-seen, in the vibrational world, because that is what's creating the visible world. So I want to talk about setting your intentions, but also setting the intention to bank 50K in 50 days. And if you are like, oh my gosh, Anna, I can't do that. Again, we're going to do the bank 50K in 50 days challenge vibrationally, emotionally, right? Being in harmony with it and seeing where it would make a difference in your life. If you bank 50K in 50 days or in a year or in 2 years, whatever it is, I don't know. There's no time for it. It doesn't matter about the time, divine time. Then how would that impact your legacy? How would that impact your quality of life? Are you resisting that? Are you pushing that away? Like, why did you start your spiritual business? Yes, to serve. Showing up, speaking out, and serving deep is amazing. On the masterclass, I'll teach you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying one-to-many soul clients. And so the masterclass is part of my book, It's called the Spiritual Business Book Marketing on YouTube, free masterclass and Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. So if you go to www.soullegacyacademy.com/courses/masterclass, you will get the 4 hours of training, and I will share with you how to do what I call 50 breakthrough sessions that serve. That is one-on-one sessions that lead into a group program. And so some people are like, oh, I don't want to do one-on-one. Okay, that's fine. The whole list building concept and all the things, is that working for you? I can't go into that now. I go into it in my book, and I go into it in the 5-day challenge. That list building for light workers feels out of alignment. List building for the money versus serving for the transformation feels more in alignment for a light worker. So if you're going out there and you're posting and you're doing all these things and you're not serving, actually really serving the clients that you say you're here to serve, and that you say that you would do it unpaid because you don't do it for the money, do it for free, but do it for an energy exchange of a testimonial, do it for the experience, do it for the version of you that is already serving, to bridge the vibrational gap from where you are now to where you would be serving. That is going to change your life. It's going to change your business, change the whole trajectory of what it is that you do. And so I invite you to do that. And I've got teaching around it, training around it. I'll talk about it on the masterclass. 50 breakthrough sessions that serve strategically over however long it takes you, but do 50 sessions. So we're coming up to like the last quarter in 2025. If you did 50 breakthrough sessions in 3 months, do you think that you'd make a difference for you going into 2026? If you did 50 sessions in the whole of 2026, do you think that it's going to change your spiritual business? If you have an offer at the end of those sessions, I'm not saying give sessions away for free, letting people pick your brain. I'm not saying that, but not doing all the things. So what you're doing, is it working? Is it working? And if it's not working, I invite you to stop it and do something different, because it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience to finally get out of your own way, finally serve, finally get good at enrolling, finally get great on working on your business as well as in it. And so I'm going to challenge every single light worker who comes to that masterclass to do the Bank 50K in 50 days. And I'll share in my bootcamp, I share in my mastermind if you want to work with me, doing that. And so people miss it. They're like, oh yeah, Bank 50K in 50 days. That's by posting on social media. That's by creating a video. That's by writing my book. That's by, no, it's not. It's about getting an online calendar and serving, setting up a breakthrough session, setting up a follow-up call, and making it super simple and saying, and I've got a breakthrough session. If you want to have an example and an experience of that, it's $444. It's a 2-hour call. And then I have a follow-up call, and I will say to you, would you like to enroll in the bootcamp, or would you like to enroll in the mastermind? Simple as that. Like, it's the shortest path to serving, and it takes you out of all those emotions that are like in fear. You won't have fear anymore if you just get a handle on why you're here to serve. So the Spiritual Business Book Marketing Masterclass. This is about my book. And again, I'll share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying soul clients through 50 breakthrough sessions that serve. And so that when you are writing your own book, if you haven't already, and if you've written your book and you want to write another book with me, or you want to co-author with me and share your spiritual awakening story, that Bank 50K in 50 days challenge is a way for you to set up your business and speak to your readers and set up your own masterclass, your own webinar, your own self-study. I teach you, once you're doing the 50 breakthrough sessions that serve, you're actually getting people into your program for that. You're actually getting testimonials. You're actually setting up case studies for your book. You're actually setting up case studies for your webinar. You're actually shifting in your vibration. You're receiving money. You're receiving value. You're giving. There's so much to that. The Bank 50K in 50 days challenge is like, oh, are you on a Bank 50K in 50 days? Well, let's do it vibrationally. If you don't feel in alignment with it, you're going to resist it. Resistance to change, resistance to getting out of your own way, because you might be posting on social media and it's not even working, and you hate it anyway, and you don't know what to say every day, all those things. We're going to ditch it all right? So Banking 50K in 50 days. So this is my book, and this is my journal, right? And so that's all I'm going to say to you. Like, writing your own book and doing your own journal and your own process that goes with your book is just a beautiful process. And every single day, 7 topics, 7 themes. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful business model. In that Bank 50K in 50 days, I show you my 1-page business plan. It's as complex as you make it. You're in different stages of marketing your book, creating your book, marketing your book. Many of you have, or many of my students come to me and they've started to write their book. And I'm like, that is amazing. I had a soul sister say, I've written my book, and I go, how are you going to market? And she's like, I don't know. And so thinking about marketing after you've written it isn't really the way to go. And that's okay if you've done it, but now we have to reverse engineer the process so that you can get your book into many people's hands. And we have a monthly call and a community around building your author and your authority platform. And I call it 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge. So if you've got a book and you want to write a book, or you want to co-author with me, I help you create your media kit, and I help you be visible and share your gifts out there. And if you are, again, vibrating at a lower vibrational frequency because you have fear around serving and you have fear of being visible, now's the time, towards the end of the year or 2026, what have you, whenever you're listening to this, let's get on it. That masterclass happens on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. It's a free 4-hour training. There's a replay there. So whenever you're watching this on the replay, go into that, watch it. I know that some people get to about 2 hours and they're like, let me pause, watch all the way to the end of that. Spend a week going through that 4-hour training. It will change the trajectory of your business. All right. And it will change how you feel about your business. All right. So let's do the Bank 50K in 50 days. So this journal, my journal, the Soul Legacy Journal. Is this helpful? Hopefully this is helpful. So the Soul Legacy Journal, spiritual awakening stories. So we're going to tell a new story about money, basically, and we're going to be in vibrational harmony with it. So this journal is a magical journal. It's the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, host here at the Soul Legacy TV, creator of the Soul Legacy movement. Again, created and designed to assist in the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation, escape a poverty consciousness and elevate a prosperity consciousness, one light worker at a time. So if I support you in making that shift and that transition from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness, and you feel like, I don't know what that is, Google it. So if I support you in doing that, then you support your clients, you support your soul family, you support your soul tribe. It's a win. All right. So this journal, we write down our vibrational frequency. We've done our vibration. We've rated that today. We put that in there, and then we add up our vibration every single. We're making it a game. And so I have what I call the Soul Income Game, Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. So this notebook gives you £1,000 or dollars or euros, wherever you are in the world, a vibrational money voucher every single day. Will you receive it? Right? Emotionally, will you receive that money? I'm giving it to you vibrationally, dropping it, right? You're picking up what I'm putting down. And so then you get to do your vision board and you get to spend that vibrational money, making it a game. It's called the Soul Income Game. So we're banking 50K in 50 days vibrationally, emotionally, so that when you are thinking about your spiritual business and you're thinking about making an offer for your clients, that soul client income is coming in already energetically. Does that make sense? So if you were to receive £1,000, dollars, or euros in soul client income, what would the soul client income, what would it come from? What would you actually, so for me, 2 of my boot camps is $1,000. It's just over 1,000, but 2 of my boot camps is $1,000. So if I was to have two students, so I sent everybody to, and I ran YouTube ads, and I send everybody to the replay, and 2 people sign up for my boot camp, that's $1,000, right? In a day. So say that altogether throughout the week, you get £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. So that's 7,000 in a week. We're tithing 10%, so that's 6,000. So we're tithing 100 a day, and so we tithe 700, and so we've got 6,300. So if you've never done the maths, when you come to the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, that I have homework to help you do the maths in your spiritual business. If you've never done the maths, you may feel uncomfortable, you may have resistance, you may have all kinds of emotions around it. all kinds of stories. That's okay. But we are going to do the maths. All right. So you can't be in business like at a shop, they're pricing their products and their services or what have you, or other people are pricing their products and services. You can't be the only one that doesn't price accordingly, right? And so my mastermind is 5,555. So if I have, say, one person in the mastermind and two people for the boot camp, then that's 7,000 in a week, right? And so it's like, oh, I can't bank 50K in 50 days. And I don't mean you'll get all of the income straight in your bank in that day. You're enrolling it. But with this vibrational money voucher, you're thinking, what would that take in my spiritual business? For me to have that spiritual life work balance, what would that be? I want you to use your imagination and create your 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board, right? And to have that spiritual life work balance energetically in your mind so that you can manifest it. So we're talking about each area of your life. And so when you walk your own talk, when you go through your spiritual awakening, when you use your spiritual ascension tools and you alchemize and you package up what it is that you're here to do, you get to, and I show you how to package that up so that you have your own income streams, you have your own book, your own journal, your own 5-day challenge that goes inside your book, your own educational marketing, rather than posting a bunch of stuff on social media that lands or doesn't land and gets likes or doesn't get likes and gets views and doesn't get views. That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that posting on social media is an enrollment spot. Here is, I'm sharing my daily life, and on the masterclass and on the 7-day challenges is an enrollment spot because I'm educating you. I'm sharing with you, okay, this is the life that when you work with me that you can have, that you want to create. So your guys want to have a lifestyle that you have created. And I love teaching my students this. It's like, why did you go for your spiritual awakening? What kind of life did you really want to build and live into? It's absolutely epic. So the spiritual business vision board challenge, again, if you come to that, I'm going to share with you all of the pieces that I'm talking about now, about the awakening, about vibration, about looking at the world through the lens of your soul rather than being pushed and pulled by your emotions, and how you can have that spiritual business and life work balance. And again, I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call that follows on from this 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast. It's called the 7 Freedoms Frequency Call-in Gym. So we go through the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge vibrationally. So £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. And so what would you spend it on? What area would you spend it on today? If I gave you that, right? The universe, this is giving you this. And so you make it fun and you actually go and spend the money. And so what I like to do is tithe 10% because we want to be a good human, right? And so we want to give back. So when we're earning the money and we're like, okay, well, in my spiritual business. And so in order to get to passive and leveraged income streams, so my boot camp is a 12-week boot camp. It's a passive income stream now. But I do Q&A for it. And I love it. For those who come to the masterclass, I give $111 worth of Q&A. I'll talk about that on the masterclass and in another day. I'll talk about it more on Financial Freedom Sunday. And for the mastermind, it's 40 plus office hours in a month. And it's on 4 days of the month. I work 10-hour days, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. We work 10-hour days half the time anyway, right? Like if you're working a soul-sucking day job or a night job, you're juggling or you're in your business. I was working hours in my business, figuring stuff out for years. Right. And so now I can say, hey, come to the masterclass and I will give you the link. I will actually give you the link to my free chapter group coaching VIP day and to see if the mastermind is right for you, because not everybody's going to come into that. Like, I don't work with people that are not ready or people that don't have a movement. Like, there's requirements to come in there because we're spending so much time together and getting on with the business of manifesting that spiritual life work balance. I love it. And writing your book and doing ads and doing all those things, taking things to the next level and scaling up your business and creating that automation and that leverage so client income streams. And so if you are ready, spend this vibrational money with me. Tithe 10%. I tithe to a worthy cause. It's called Compassionate Friends. I am a volunteer for the charity, and if you want to support them, I'd love that. I have the link on my Facebook I believe on my Facebook profile for Compassionate Friends, my actual, I don't even know if I've got a donation link. But there is a link to that. Anyway, it's Compassionate Friends UK. And so they're a charity that support bereaved parents. And so I offer an hour of my time each week on a Tuesday for a fellow bereaved mum. So my son made his transition 10 years ago in April. He got knocked off his motorbike and he passed away on the roadside. And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, how do I rebuild my life? And it was my vision that got me through. It was my vision of being in service to you. It was my vision, my purpose of building my life. It's like going through that awakening, using these as spiritual ascension tools. And it's what gets me out of bed every single day. I'm so passionate about it. I can spend an hour of my time here with you sharing because I love it and I'm passionate. And when I look back at my week, I go, where did I spend my time? Did I spend it being in service? Did I show up, speak out, and serve deep? Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Like, how are you spending your time? For that to have that spiritual business and life work balance and feel really good about it, like I wanted to be intentional about how I wanted to be in service. And so you'll see on the masterclass more so like how I spend my time, how I spend my days. And again, if you do come to the masterclass and do this, spending this vibrational money voucher, and then doing it in the physical world, actually earning that, being in alignment to it, then you'll see us creating that spiritual business and life work balance in every single area of your life, being very intentional, setting intentions every single day. So visualize what you'd spend your vibrational money voucher on because your lifestyle depends on it. It depends whether you're taking that soul guided action, you're having this be shared with you so that you can get a handle on your emotions and it's fine where you are, where you are. I am where I am. I like to vibe high. When I don't vibe high, I see where I am and I go through that go up the emotional scale. And again, I'll share that on the 2-hour monthly coaching call. If you come to the masterclass, I do gift my students that. I gift you an entire year of this coaching for that spiritual life work balance. I can't say fairer than that, right? So that is the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge in a nutshell. I'm feeling like I need to explain because people are like, oh yeah, Bank 50K in 50 days. Like you don't get something for nothing. It's a fair energy exchange. And if we got that for nothing, like when you're doing a lottery, it's not for nothing because you've invested in a lottery ticket. Many of those people, as we know, they do studies on it, go back to the same level of income, they lose it all because they were never the container for holding it. And so they weren't in vibrational harmony with the millions or the hundreds of thousands that they've won. Like, it makes no sense to me. So let's be in vibrational harmony with the spiritual business that you are here to create. All right. I'm gonna jump off my soapbox. I love it. I love what I do. We've talked about vision, right? And that spiritual life work balance. What does balance look like for you? And I don't mean it's like, oh, it's in perfect, everything feels like this. We're still like, we might lean over to one area a little bit more, but it's in harmony. It's in, why you're doing what you're doing, right? And so many people say, I don't have time. What are you making time for? When you look back at your last week, like, how do you feel about it? I feel good about my last week, actually. Like, I had bumps in the road last week, and I've been sharing them, and I will share them more. But the intention for the next week, I know what I'm doing when I'm doing it and how I'm doing it. We've got the 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge, actually. And next week, it's my annual challenge. And I will share with you more what I'm doing on the business side. This is more of the energetic side. This is more me tapping out the emotions, doing all those things to live intentionally. But unless I have my business and unless I'm willing to receive financial freedom, then my lifestyle is going to go by the wayside. And I can see you guys on here and hopping in and out. I can't see any comments. I haven't really looked, to be fair. But if you want to comment and you want to engage, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'd love to support you on this journey daily. All right. Daily. All right. So what I would say is, how do you launch your day? I did mention about your week. How do you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day? That is your legacy. You know, when people go, oh, I've got a morning routine, and then the rest of the day is out of alignment. Not really. And so morning routine, daily routine, and nighttime routine. And it might be like, that is a lot. You have a morning routine, a daytime routine, and a nighttime routine. Anyway, it just might not be supporting you in your spiritual business, right? It might not be supporting your life purpose. It might not be supporting your health. It might not be, and some of it might, and it might not be supporting your emotions. It might not be supporting your environment, the one that you really want to be in that's on your vision board. It might not be supporting your relationships. It might not be supporting your spirituality. It might not be supporting your finances. It might be supporting some, but not others. Whatever. Wherever you are is wherever you are. Wherever I am is wherever I am. And I've got a vision to manifest, and I will be live on the second week in December, sharing my vision board and what I've manifested and what I've still yet to manifest. But I have manifested some of the things that are on my vision board, and the downloads just keep coming. The downloads just keep coming. I know where I need to be when I need to be there, because I've created an intentional life, and I have a daily routine, a weekly routine, a monthly routine, a quarterly routine, an annual routine, and I share it with you. I share the heck out of it, and I'm soul speaking into existence, because I know the life that I'm here, and I know that you were meant for more too. All right. So no more of this, I don't have time business. Like, you do have time. We all have 24 hours in a day. Let's be intentional. Let's strip away the things that are not working and put in the things that are, right? And I want to help you. So again, I can coach you on it. 2-hour monthly coaching call. If you come to the masterclass, I'll share with you how I gift you $77. Who does that? $77 a month, that's $924 in a year, and gifting you, right? And that's actually more than the investment that for the boot camp. It's almost double. There's more bonus gifts as well. I'm just saying, you're welcome. It's priceless. So how you launch your day, how can you set an intention, 1 or 3 intentions around your emotions for your life? Meaning, in the morning, how can you elevate your emotions? Like, we talked about the emotional scale and that spiritual life work balance, how you feel about your morning. How do you feel about your morning? Is there anything that you can do where you can feel better about your morning? Is there anything that you can do to feel better about your daytime? Is there anything like cutting it out or letting something in? Or something that like something that you used to do that lit you up, and all of a sudden you stop doing it and you're like, why did I stop doing that? I loved it. Let me know. Something you can do at nighttime, and there's so much advice on morning routines, daytime routines, not so much daytime actually, nighttime routines. And I wake up with Ho'oponopono and tapping every single day. And I've dropped off and I've come on, and now I'm doing the podcast. I'm back on, and I tap, do EFT. I just get a YouTube video from tapping. I know that some of you are EFT practitioners and probably not using it. Some of you are Reiki, a lot of you are Reiki practitioners and not using it. But saying to everybody else, I can help and heal you. Like, it starts with us. Right, it's Louise here. It says it starts with us. So how can you relieve your emotions or elevate, like stress? We talked about health yesterday, and we talked about stress. So if you've got any kind of stress, and it doesn't have to be an extreme excruciating stress, just stressful thoughts, how can you relieve that in the morning? And so again, I'm tapping in the morning, I'm doing my day, I'm walking out in nature in the morning. I was actually up later than what I usually am last night. And so I woke up and I was like, I'm going to go back. I did some tapping and I went back to sleep, and I woke up later, and I'm like prioritizing sleep. So I didn't feel guilty. At first I was like, do I want to? Like, is that a sabotage? And I'm like, no, I need some more sleep. So I went back to sleep. So having the freedom to have that spiritual business and life work balance, to have the 7 freedoms for intentional living is just amazing. It's epic. Like, everything is serving me. So I went out for my walk. I usually do 15K steps. I was doing 20K. I was doing 10K. Sweet spot 15K. I've got another 5K steps to do. I knew it was going to rain, and it actually did. Then I've had my food. So I'm launching my day with my emotions in mind, tapping out emotions. I talked about weight loss and body confidence by Jessica Ortner yesterday, and she was saying about our tapping. And if you don't know what EFT tapping is, then Google it. It's just incredible. And you can tap any area, any of the 7 freedoms that you feel like you're stuck or you're blocked in. I encourage that. And so how I lead my day, this is part of me leading my day in the middle of my day, and how I will leave my day. I don't have a big nighttime routine, to be fair. One of the things that I plan to implement or plan to add to my routine, don't add everything all at once, is reading and reading things and grow rich. And it's by like where I'm sleeping and I'm like, I haven't done it. So I'm not perfect. However, and then I'll have some downtime. I'll watch a movie or what have you. So I'm not on all the time, but I'm very intentional with my time. So let me wrap this up. So we're going to do gratitude, and then I'm going to pull the card for today. And the card for today is epic. So stick around for that. I've already done the book for today. So gratitude. All right. So this is a way for us to elevate our vibrational frequency, right? So the 7 freedoms intentional living. Let me have a drink because I've been talking for a whole hour and 10 minutes without a drink, as you do. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate it. And I'm just going to say it with you. So you can journal this or you can soul speak into existence. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate it. So we're going to use the intentional living codes, my soul signature system, the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency, to be at the vibration that we wish to witness in the world. I'm sure that you've heard so many things, but you might not be doing it. And this is the way that I packaged it up. So I do it, and so you can do it too. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate it, right? All 3, feeling the feelings. And so it may be something that you're happy and grateful and appreciate in the past, present, or predicted future. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate C for the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency, because our contribution is the first of the 7 freedoms. Health is the second of the 7 freedoms. Emotions is the third of the 7 freedoms. Environment, the E, and the Cheers is the 4th of the 7 freedoms. Relationships is the R, the 5th in the 7 freedoms. So me saying the 7 freedoms is easier than saying all this all over again. The S in the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency in the 7 freedoms is spirituality. And then we have financial freedom. So how you feel about all of them is important. All right. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate life purpose. Ooh. Being able to contribute today. And really passionate about my life purpose being downloaded to me, and living that out, actually being courageous enough to live that out. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate everyone that's popped in and popped out, and that scrolled and stopped and watched me and not. It's been epic. Thank you. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate, and I could just record this and then post it, but I watch people, and as my audience grows again, I will again pull up the comments and stuff. I'm happy, and I could record this and make it look like it's going out live. I may do that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my health. Learning what's really working for my body, as in I had like a real realization of what I'm eating right now, and it's really fueling my body and releasing from my body. Like it's just lovely. And so I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the knowledge in which to look after my health. The higher protein, then next fats, and then next carbs is working for me really, really well. And then drinking like up to a litre and a half to 2 litres of green tea and Himalayan sea salt and peppermint and cinnamon, and I didn't put any ginger in it. But drinking, it's just been my digestive system, everything just feels amazing. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my emotions. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I know about the emotional scale. So thank you, Jerry Nesta Hicks, for creating that emotional scale and helping us to navigate that, right? So, and the fact that I dipped in my emotions, and then I was able to raise my vibration again. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my environment here, being here with my godson's mum. It's just been really lovely, really, really lovely. She's such a beautiful soul. And yeah, just we've known each other for 30 plus years. And today when she walks out of the door, she looked like a hot mama. And I was like, ooh, girl, get you. And so being able to witness that, and I said, oh gosh, that takes me back. Took us both back for like 30 years from when we first met, and there's like just stories. It's just wonderful. So to be in an environment where there's so much love, yeah, it just is really lovely. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate relationships. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate you. You're watching this, you're listening to this. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate you that I get to reach you wherever you are in the world. Here in the UK, from a little tiny town, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate you. Thank you. I had a vision when I came offline, and I was going through my awakenings after my son had passed, and I was cleaning homes and building relationships there as well. And I just envisioned this. I didn't know what it would look and feel like. I've been doing it for a while now, but I didn't know what it would look and feel like. I hadn't written my book. I hadn't, just so many things. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate you. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spirituality. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate Dr. Wayne Dyer, that we are souls having a human experience and our energy can be left. He says something, his words, oh gosh, I didn't even share. I listened. He says that surrendering and that deep trust, and that basically the universe, when we surrender and we trust to the things that are unseen, divine timing is the language of our soul. I'm so happy and grateful and appreciate that I know that divine timing is the language of our soul, is the way that our soul speaks to us. We're not late, he says. We're not out of timing. We don't have to rush. We don't have to grip things so tightly. And I realized today just how I let things go and not grip it so tightly, and how the thing that triggered the emotion this week, and me, being hacked off, and me crying, and all those things, and then learning to let it go and releasing it and tapping on it, and then literally instantly, like what I had forgotten, what I had let go of prior to that, had come back full circle and into my life. And I'm like, oh, is there something to this? I don't know if there will be, but just that trusting. And it's happening again and again and again and again. And I love knowing that divine timing, our soul guidance, is the language of our soul. Like here at the Soul Legacy TV, Soul Legacy Academy, right? The Soul Legacy movement, right? Soul guided influences, the Soul Legacy Journal. Everything that I do has the word soul in it, because learning to look at life through the lens of my soul, we say that the eyes are the window to our soul. So if they're the window to our soul, the window to our soul looking out at the world, right? That for me is that spiritual journey and that spiritual path, and I love it. I love all of it. The ups, the downs, the contrast, the obstacles that are there to help my evolution, to help your evolution, like the trust in it, the faith in it. It's epic. It's so epic. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom, finances. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate. I don't know if I said this yesterday. Did I say this? Oh, so I went to the supermarket and I went on my walk, and then I came back, and I had to bob to the loo because I've been drinking water on the way, like what intake. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pop to the shops. And so going into the shop and purchasing eggs because protein, and having that money to be able to just easily and effortlessly spend the money, and count out the change and give it to her, have that energy exchange, and then pop the rest of the money back into my bag. Well, it was in my bag, but I had it in my pocket, and just be like, because when I was homeless and bankrupt and £160,000 in debt, right, that experience right there would be epic. So again, being happy and grateful for something in the past, something in the present, and something in the predicted future. Sometimes It's like, okay, what is going on for me today that is included in the finances? So it's having that gratitude for all areas, but the things that are in proximity that are happening now. And this keeps happening as well. My granddaughter messaging me. That's my legacy right there. So she's obviously come home from school. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. So let me pull the card for today, because that's just been like an hour and 20 minutes. So this is Keepers of the Light by Carl Gray. I've gone dark. I love this, and listen to this. This is the card that I pulled for us. Right, it's called Mary Magdalene. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you, anything or anyone. Right, that's twice, 2 points in this last week. One looked really shiny and really rosy, but then ended up being like that flip side of, oh, okay, like I'm shining and you don't like it. That tall poppy syndrome, that crabs in a bucket syndrome, twice this week. And I'm like, well, last week and this week, I'm like, okay, I get it. Okay. Last Wednesday, I wouldn't have known those 2 things. So they happened after the last Wednesday. So I'm setting the intention, riding the wave, and 2 relationships have ended. Well, not ended. One's not ended, but one's ended. And I'm like, oh, okay, don't let anybody stop you. Never dumb yourself down for anyone or anything. So hopefully you resonate with this. So we don't have a full picture of who Mary Magdalene actually was, but we do know from spiritual texts that she was a great visionary and a teacher with clairvoyant abilities, because she was able to see angels and the soul of her twin flame, Master Jesus. You see this? After he had passed away, she also had the ability to shake up crowds of people to bring their hearts and minds back to the highest good. She now devotes her time to supporting us in bringing about radical changes the earth needs in order to prosper, and to encourage those who feel the need to teach the joy of spirit. Mary is a rebel heart in many ways. She helps those light workers who feel restricted by the opinions of others step up and speak their truth. That happened to me twice this week, from people that were very close in my proximity. And because I'm doing this intentional living, and because I'm on here, it's like, I'm aware. Extended message. You have a strong desire to share what you have learned. You may feel people will dismiss you or ridicule you, both this week. But don't worry, Mary Magdalene is here to guide you through this process. Your vulnerability is actually your greatest strength, because you are trusting the power of your soul. And that part of you can never be broken. You are a wonderful teacher and leader, and the world needs you. You are being backed by heaven, so step forward and share all that you had learned. And today I was writing down the new group description for the Movement Marketing Media Kit Challenge and our monthly call. And if you want to come to our monthly call, you can come to the masterclass. You can come to the soullegacyacademy.com, and I'm going to make sure that I bring that up. You can come to the hub, the global networking hub for soul guided influencers, and you can get in access when you join the masterclass anyway. It'll automatically give you access. There's a monthly call where we have 90 minutes free. It's called Iona's Free Media Kit Collab Call. And so collaborating while you're building your online presence, standing tall, building your vision, creating your movement marketing media kit, coming and collaborating with me. I would love that. Again, I wrote my book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul guided influencers compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. So you can see that I'm doing that on YouTube. And my emotions, I'm so passionate about what I do. And so I've been able to create a vehicle, one video that points to my online teaching portal, one video that will create my podcast, one video that supports my 7-day challenge, my annual challenge, one video that supports my students. I'm confident in what I'm doing. I have clarity in what I'm doing. And so if you don't have clarity, when you purchase my book, you'll get a three chapters. You'll get an introductory chapter called How to Start, Build and Grow a Successful Online Spiritual Business on YouTube with a #1 best-selling book launch, because that's what I'm doing. You'll get a free chapter, and there's a free chapter group coaching VIP day. That is free, but if you want to work with me deeper and you want to talk about coming into my mastermind for the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint, I'm super excited. There's going to be 50 spots per month for that as I get this out and build momentum. I'm really excited about it. So when I talked about the 50 breakthrough sessions that serve as the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, then my way now, rather than doing the one-on-one, is to do the free chapter group coaching VIP day with 50 spots once a month. So that for me is just epic. I'd love to have you join me in the masterclass. I'd love to support you in your journey. I've really enjoyed creating the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast, because I'm living an intentional life. I invite you to live an intentional life and build a spiritual business that you love, and that gives you that life work balance, that gives you that freedom, where you can write your book, where you can do your retreat, where you can do your coaching, do your group coaching, do your mastermind or office hours, or whatever it is that you want to create. The world's your oyster. So that's it for this episode of the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast. I will see you on the next episode. We're going to be talking about environmental freedom on Thursdays, and home and work and travel and all those things, because as we're building that spiritual business, I don't know about you, but I wanted to travel while I taught. So travel while I teach, and earn while I learn, right? So that is me. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending this time with me. I love you. Here's to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Big love, and be blessed in your purpose. Take care.